Okay, hello everyone, hope you're well. We're going to go a little bit quickly because I have a plane to catch. We are on Lamed Zion Amabez 37b1, and we are still discussing Breira. Again, the concept of Breira is to be mivarer, to retroactively cause something to happen. Okay, and there's a lot of discussion, a lot of confusion, I guess you'd say, around what each Tana holds. Okay, there's different opinions over here. We're trying to plot where Tanaim hold. Do you hold Yesh Breira, that you could retroactively cause something to go into effect, or do you not allow such a thing? So the Gemara assumed earlier that Rav Yossi, the Gemara established earlier that Rav Yossi does not hold a Breira, but the Gemara asked, "V'akatis of Rav Yossi in Breira, is it true that he doesn't hold a Breira?" But Tanya, we have a brisa which seems to indicate that Rav Yossi does hold a brisa. How do you see that? Okay, so let's quickly review. Now, when a non-Amaretz, a regular person, knowledgeable person, me and you, regular knowledgeable person, you go ahead and you buy something that has not been tithed. If you go, you're not allowed to go ahead and give it to anyone else before tithing it yourself. Especially if you're going to, specifically if you're going to give it to someone like an Amaretz, someone who you know is not going to tithe it, you're responsible to tithe it. Okay, so let's go through the following case. Amaretz Shalom al-Chaver, your neighbor who's Amaretz asks you, the Chaver, to go ahead and say, hey, and he knows that you're going to the store, and he says, hey, do me a favor, when you go to the store, buy some food for me. Okay, so now you go to the store, you're buying food for yourself, and you're buying food for him. Okay, and he says, buy me a bundle of vegetables or a loaf of bread. Okay, and obviously, and what you do is you're like, oh my gosh, I have to buy the same exact vegetables, same exact bread, I have to buy a loaf myself. So you buy 2 loaves of bread, but you don't say this loaf is for this guy, this loaf is for me, right? You basically buy 2 loaves of bread, and then you bring it back, and you want to give it to the person. Do you have to give meister now, right? Did you purchase it? Is it yours, and now you're giving him one? Or, right, do we say that since when you bought it, it wasn't yet defined whose was whose, so Rav Yossi says you don't have to you don't have to go ahead and give meiser before giving it to the Amaretz. Why? Because retroactively, whichever loaf you gave him, retroactively we consider it as if you bought that loaf of bread for that individual. You see what's going on? In other words, that's rare. Retroactively, we say that even though you bought 2 loaves of bread, but retroactively, whatever you've given to that person, it's as if you bought it from all along, and therefore you never owned it for any moment. It never came into your possession at all. Okay, the Chum say no, you do have to give meiser. So the Gemara says, so you see, Rav Yossi does hold breira, and we tried saying yesterday that Rav Yossi does not hold a breira. So the Gemara says, Epoch, switch it around. That really Rav Yossi is the one who says that you do have to give meiser because you do not hold a breira, and the Chum say that you do not have to give meiser because they hold a breira. Says the Gemara, another question to Rav Yossi. Tashma ha'omer meiser sheyesh b'veisim mechol asal shtal b'yad min hakis. Person has meiser sheni in my house. Okay, I have meiser sheni in my house, and I say, whichever coin, whatever coin comes out of my pocket, that whatever coin that's later going to come out of my pocket. So right now you're leaving your coins in your purse. Okay, and you say later I'm going to take a coin out of the purse, and whatever coin I pick out, the Meiser Sheni is going to be transferred, the Kedusha of Meiser Sheni is going to be transferred onto that coin. So Rav Yossi says it does work. So how does that work? That works with Breira, right? Because right now I'm going to go ahead and eat that Meiser Sheni. Why? Because I say it's no longer Meiser Sheni. I took the Kedusha, the holiness, the sanctity from the Meiser Sheni, and I moved it onto the money, even though I didn't, because I didn't yet go ahead and make that transfer. So what do we say? We say Breira. We say the notion is that retroactively it did go onto that coin, and that's why it worked. So Gemara says, Eipach im Rav Yossi omer lo chila. Again, we switched up. We say Rav Yossi is not saying it works. Rav Yossi is saying it does not work. Okay, so ask the Gemara, my chazis. So this is the second time we've had a brisa, which implies that Rav Yossi does hold a breira, and why are we switching them both up? We only had one brisa, which seemed to indicate that he does not hold a breira. So you have 2 which seem to indicate that he does hold a breira. One that indicates that he does not. So why are you switching these 2 in front of that one? So Gemara says, he says there definitely is a mistake. He says the brisa which we just quoted, clearly a reversal has to be done. Why? There's a mistake. There's a corruption. Why? The Tani Seif, it says the end of this brisa which we just read, Umoder of Yossi, Rav Yossi agrees, but Omer Meiser Sheish B'Sof Beisi, Meiser Sheni which I have in my house, that it'll be redeemed on a new seller that will later come into my hand from this purse, shechil, that it does work. Okay, so he basically at the end of that brisa he says, in this case though it does work. By saying in this case it does work, implication is in the other case it does not work. Right? So clearly Rav Yossi in that brisa really was supposed to say it does not work, and that's why at least that brisa, so it's not really 2-1, it's in favor of Rav Yossi holding breira. It's actually 2-1 in favor of Rav Yossi holding not breira. So we call it a hasam l'chil, right? The fact that the end says Rav Yossi clearly says it is redeemed, implying that the first case he holds it's not redeemed, meaning Rav Yossi does not hold of breira. Now the Gemara just tries to understand what's that last case. What's the case? So if you want to say that there's a bunch of coins coins in the guy's pocket. So how's that any different? The guy has a bunch of coins. Says whichever coin later on I'm going to pick up, that coin is going to have the sanctity. Well, again, that's brera, so that can't be. So ela deleka alachada. You have to say there's only one coin. In which case, my tala doesn't mean whichever coin I pick up. If there's only one coin, it already goes onto that coin. So I did tani reisha tala tani seifa nama tala. So the Gemara says you're right. The terminology of that will come up is incorrect. What it means, Rav Yossi is coming to say that if I only have one coin in my pocket, then I am able to say that the meiser shein into my house is able to be transferred. The sanctity is able to be transferred into the money in my pocket. Who is the Tana quoted in the following brisa does not accept the concept of brera, even with regard to a rabbinic law? The Tana Tana brisa, a person says to 5 different people, I will make an heir from ever of you that I will later choose. Whoever I choose, if I choose, it's going to work. You're able to go. You're able to go. If I choose, you're not going to go. You're not going to go. If this is done before Shabbos begins, it's good because Shabbos hasn't yet begun. But if it happens after dark, it's not work, right? That is the case of not holding a brera, even though Erev Tchumen is rabbinic. So Ishtik Rav Nachman was silent, didn't say anything. He did not know who this Tana is. Says the Gemara, what about Ayo? Ayo earlier told us a case of Tchum. A case of Tchum where he was saying that brera does not work. The Gemara says, Rav Nachman never heard of Ayo's version of Rabbi Yehuda's opinion. Okay, Rav Yosef, another answer. Shakas Alma, he says, do you remove all the time from the world? Tanahi, it's Machlokas Tanaim, the Tana's and Bryce, and Arav L'Shabbos L'Shal Kal Shan. If a person goes ahead and says an error for every Shabbos the entire year, Tzisa Elech, and he says, every for any particular Shabbos, if I choose to go, it's going to be a good Erev. Lo Tzisa Elech, if I choose not to go, it's not going to be a good Erev, and therefore the city is going to be my place of residence, and I have full circumference around the city. So Yom, a person says that chooses while it's still day on any given Friday, then it's good. After dark, Shimon says it's good. It does not work. So you see, the Chachamim in this brisa are rejecting brera even in a case which is rabbinic, i.e. Erev Tchumen. Okay, so the Gemara says, Rav Shimon brera. What's going on? Rav Shimon over here is saying it's brera, and yet we have a case elsewhere. Earlier we just saw Rav Shimon not holding a brera. Kasha Rav Shimon. Now we have a contradiction between Rav Shimon and Rav Shimon. Again, we're trying to plot who holds brera, who does not. So he says Ela Epach, switch it around, and have Rav Shimon being the one who holds in Erev, and therefore it's consistent. The Gemara says, my Kasha Dilma ki Leiser Rav Shimon. So the Gemara says maybe there's no contradiction. Dilma ki Leiser Rav Shimon brera b'doraisa. Maybe Rav Shimon does not hold a brera in a biblical case. In 37a, we're talking about tithing, which is biblical. But in the case of rabbinic law of Tchumen, which we're just talking about, maybe does hold it. So Rav Yosef, the reason that Rav Yosef is not going to that answer is because Rav Yosef holds man islay brera lo shna b'doraisa lo shna b'dorabanan islay man delaislay brera lo shna b'doraisa lo shna b'dorabanan leiser. Rav Yosef holds that there is no distinction. People who hold brera, it's a concept. It doesn't make a difference rabbinic or biblical, and therefore if you hold it in one, you're going to hold it in the other. Not everyone agrees to this concept clearly, but that's Rav Yosef's opinion. That's why he doesn't give that answer. Have a wonderful day.